आप गलत कर रहे हो, बेटियों को पढ़ा के, बेटियों को डिबेट में भाग लेने का मौका दे के, ये भाग जाएगी, इंटरकास्ट शादी कर लेगी। A lot of teasing, a lot of stalking from some सिरफिरे बच्चे. I really wanted to run away from that place also, just the way I ran away in my 10th standard from that speech. I had secured first rank with Hindi medium and had secured highest marks in interview. Later became collector of Mumbai suburban district. Now this is a very big district. I am first female collector of that district also. Exactly 40 years ago, in a village called Kathauti, on this date, a girl was born in Nagaur, Rajasthan. Even before she was born, her father, who was a junior engineer in water supply department, has promised to his friend, who was also a junior engineer in PWD, that if both of them happen to be fathers to a boy or a girl, they would turn their friendship into a relationship. Now, this might sound very filmy, very Bollywood like, but this happened in the life of a girl who is standing right before you. Nidhi Chaudhary, an IAS officer from 2012 batch of Maharashtra. After me, my younger sister was born a year later. Two girls back to back. This was like a doom and a despair for the entire family. 1984, 1985, when we were being born, the situations were such that in Rajasthan, in my district, the chasm between the male and female literacy was widest. Even till 2011 census, if we read the statistics for the female and male literacy, the highest gap exists in Rajasthan, in Nagaur. We celebrated Akshaya Tritiya, the festival on which maximum number of child marriages take place, that too from my own district. So when we were growing up, the challenge of an early marriage, this came not just after birth. In my case, it started much before my birth. My sister was born in 1985. She was not well. She had neonatal jaundice. But this thing, which should have been a reason for concern for my family, unfortunately so, due to the societal circumstances, gave a ray of hope to my maternal uncles that my mother, after all, is not so unfortunate. Probably the girl child would not survive. For 6 consecutive days, she was not given any medical attention, no medical treatment. In fact, on the 6th day, my younger maternal uncle went to the farthest field of ours and dug a grave for her, because infants are not cremated in our area. They are buried. Unfortunately for them and fortunately for my sister, my Nanaji returned on weekend, and he told my maternal uncles that till that day my sister has not even taken a grain of bajra from them, and therefore they must not be do such injustice to her, should not be so unfair to her. He instructed my maternal uncle to go to the nearest hospital and get a compounder. My sister got medical treatment. She stayed hale and hearty. But since then, the journey over the years was difficult, was tough, especially the promise that my father made to his friend way back before I was born came standing in front of me when I was doing my 12th standard. Suresh, who was 1 year junior than me, his father was transferred to my own hometown, Ladanu. He started discussing the erstwhile promise to my father. And I come from a very dominant caste from Rajasthan, and a vow means a vow for us. And it was a constant discussion in my family that I should, at least my parents should say yes to a roka or an engagement, and the decision of teaching, of further studies, further education would be taken by the boy's family, would be taken depending on their choices. This somehow my mother put her foot down and she said, he's younger than me in age, he's younger than me in, he's like junior than me in studies. And she was very firm that she's not going to go ahead with this proposal. But that was not the end of the proposals that were coming my way. Throughout my graduation, there would be many proposals being sent from my Dadi ji, my Nani ji, my Mama ji, Chacha ji, lot of relatives, Papa's friends, sometimes from, unfortunately so, from MLAs, ministers, and my father would even get transferred on these reasons. There were constant battles, constant fights happening at my family level. Once in a while, even my parents would be in dilemma because they were not sure what they were doing with us by encouraging us for further studies, whether that was a right decision. It was also happening at a time when I was getting very good exposure in terms of uh, my father gave me a moped when I secured first rank in my district to ride. I was in Ladnu town, and in this town, because of it being very, very old, even the internal roads in the city were not good. They were uneven. They were made of stone. They are called as Aadhi Patti, Ek Patti, Do Patti, till Sade Saat Patti. So it was not easy even for the boys and men to ride mopeds or bikes back then. So when I was riding this moped, I became unnecessarily a center of attention during my higher secondary education. I also was kind of pushed into taking part in debates, and there is a story behind that too. I was in my 10th standard when, in an SUPW project, I had to speak on Punjab. And this was the first chance, first opportunity that I was given to speak in front of an audience. Uh, I got so panicked that I ran away from the event. I went up the terrace and hid myself in a remote corner. And this was an old Haveli of Ladnu. Kesar Devi Sethi has donated this Haveli to for the government girls' school. And I have hidden myself. I just don't want to keep listening to the sounds that are coming. Nidhi Chaudhary, Punjab leader. I don't speak anything. I am just under a panic attack, under the fear of public speaking. And people who say that the fear of public speaking is worse than the fear of death are not wrong, because I experienced it that day. And after that, my father learned about this, and he was working as junior engineer in water supply department. He talked to the teachers and he told them to keep proposing my name for similar events. I ran away from a few more. I ghosted them. I went frozen in a few more. But ultimately, till 2001, when I ultimately won my first debate competition, a state level debate competition, and secured first rank. After that, also, I got frozen in many, but I kept overcoming it. But in those circumstances, when I was doing my 11th, 12th, my graduation, there were very few girls. Actually, I was one of the rarest ones who would hold mic and speak, who would write in newspaper, whose poems and stories and articles would get published in newspaper. So it was so ironical that at home I'm constantly battling these proposals of marriage, the impending early marriage that was right in the in front of me, and at the same time I was constantly under this continuous scrutiny and being a center of unnecessary attention from my school boys and my college boys, a lot of eve teasing, a lot of stalking from some sirfire baches, and this was not easy. While I may laugh at it now, but the girl who was growing up back then was not sure what she is going towards. She was not sure of her future. Who can be sure what will happen tomorrow? So while I am studying, I am taking part in debates. I also was the first to contest the student union elections. in my college, and also became the first girl to ever elected as vice president in my college. And this was a college which was catering to five tehsils. In almost half of Nagaur district students would go to that college only. Very popular college, and very few girls standing up for themselves. So not easy times back at home, uncertainties, difficulties in your college, people telling you, calling you sometimes as MLA Sahib or sometimes as Collector Sahib, give your autograph while I would be taking part in NSS activities. So this constant irony, constant dilemma that I was facing became a part of my life. I decided to move on to Jaipur for doing my master's in English literature. Now, this was a clarion call. Even for my parents, this decision was not easy because when I was studying and all this attention that I was garnering, there would be relatives, there would be family members who would say my parents that आप गलत कर रहे हो बेटियों को पढ़ा के, बेटियों को डिबेट में भाग लेने का मौका दे के, ये भाग जाएंगी, इंटरकास्ट शादी कर लेंगी. एंड दिस वाज अ टाइम व्हेन कयामत से कयामत तक, दिल, these movies were very popular and almost all parents were scared of this idea that their daughters will flee away with some boy of their choice. So when I take this decision that I want to do masters in English literature from University of Rajasthan, Jaipur, move away from Didwana, it was not easy. It was so difficult that I actually did not join in time. My name appeared in the third list, but I joined much later. I kind of kept delaying it because didn't know what am I doing. Will I be able to actually achieve my dreams, or something really drastic is going to happen to me? And all those taunts and sarcastic comments that were coming my way all my life will come true. I didn't know. I didn't know my future. I didn't know what lay ahead. So I ultimately end up joining in the Department of English. Now, this girl who was actually having difficulties due to unnecessary attention now became a backbencher in this Department of English Literature, because the boys and girls from ICG, Kanodia College, Maharani College, Maharaja College, they had already formed their groups. They were smart, good-looking boys and girls, and they would speak fluent English. And I, as an introvert, found myself a complete misfit there. To an extent that even today I don't have even a single acquaintance from that batch of mine. I decided to focus more on studying quietly and silently in library and taking part in Hindi debates. This girl who flee away from a speech started winning debates after debates, and in my MA final year, I won 17 debates consecutively. And when I lost my 18th debate, I actually thanked God because after a while, when you continuously win, there is no fun, there is no excitement, there is so much of boredom. And you realize that although it might appear like you're going ahead, it actually is nothing but a plateaued growth. So I ultimately lose a debate and I decide to now focus more on my master's degree. In MA first year, when I moved to Jaipur, for the first time in my life, I was dependent on outside food. I have never eaten in a restaurant till then. So the Tiffin food which was coming, I fall sick of typhoid right before my exams. And I am having, my report is all negative on every parameter of Vidal test. My father comes and takes permission from the university and takes me back home. But I am the person that I am. I compel my father that come what may, on the day of exam, I would want to go to Jaipur and write my papers. In that sickness, extreme sickness, I do up down. My father takes leaves from his work, takes me to Jaipur, brings me back, and I write my MA previous exams. Then next year I write my MA final year exam. The results come, and I had secured first rank in the entire University of Rajasthan. This came as a surprise, as a shock to too many people. people didn't know me. People were asking, my batchmates, classmates were asking, who is this Nidhi Chaudhary? Some teachers knew that the one who takes part in Hindi debates. Some knew that the one who fell sick of typhoid last year. Uh, this is so ironical again that the person who found herself to be absolutely misfit, to be not there, to not belong to that group of boys and girls, ended up becoming the best out of them. And in 2005, I was given a certificate and cash prize by the then Vice Chancellor. Last year, on 19th of May 2023, I got my 2 gold medals from the University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. So at that point of time, when I finished my master's, I was hardly 21. I started writing competitive examinations. I wrote the text assistance exam, but I failed in the final papers. I wrote CPU exam. I failed in the physical test. I wrote JNU entrance exam. I couldn't clear that too. I wrote UGC NET for MA English. I couldn't clear that too. And this is happening to a girl who was already warned enough, whose parents were warned enough that if you allow her to study and you allow her to chase her dreams, she will ruin your name and she will run away and all those things. And here I am not finding that success for which I was doing all that. And ultimately, I get a call for interview for the SSC exam. I get a call for interview of Reserve Bank of India exam. So for RBI exam, when I moved from Jaipur to Delhi, I traveled from Jaipur to Delhi in an overnight bus, in a sleeper bus, get down at ISBT, freshen up at the Sulabh Sauchalaya, reach RBI Delhi, this beautiful building close to Sansad Bhavan, with Yaksha and Yakshini outside. The guard does not allow me to enter. He tells me that you have come much earlier than your reporting time, so keep waiting. I didn't know where to wait. And I didn't have any relatives out there in Delhi. So I find some place. There is a Mazar nearby, and there is a snack stall there, food stall. I got hold of a bread pakoda, ate it for next 1 hour, and put some money in that box, charity box of that Mazar, and kept praying for myself. Because back then when I was writing, I was appearing in that interview, nothing but prayers would have helped me. I was not having any economics background, no finance, no commerce, no management background. And I was appearing in Hindi medium. When I ultimately end up reaching the interview board, once again, the boys are in corporate suits and ties. The girls are wearing neat tussar silk sarees, Maheshwari sarees, and are speaking fluent English and are discussing about their achievements, their selections in Bank PO. And here I was with zero selections in any of the competitive examinations and wearing that beige color salwar kameez, which was all crushed. I really wanted to run away from that place also, just the way I ran away in my 10th standard from that speech. But I ended up ultimately going before the interview board. The interview went well up to the time when the board chairperson, while reading the detailed application form, found that I have mentioned that I'm topper of the University of Rajasthan, and that too in English literature. So this irony of mine that I am topper of English literature and can't speak English was so personal, so subjective, so incomprehensible. It was not easy to explain. Although when he asked me that you topped the university, then why are you appearing in Hindi medium? I tried to explain that I'm good at literary understanding but not fluent at English because of my entire education being in Hindi. He didn't accept that argument, and he told me to answer the remaining questions in English. So I knew what is Avmulyan, Adhimulyan, Mudrasfiti, Maudrik Niti, Rajkoshya Niti, Avsfiti, Nijikaran, Udarikaran, and everything. But I didn't know their English terms and vice versa. The end result was that somehow my interview ended. I tried to answer the questions that were asked to me in my broken, incomplete incomprehensible English. After that interview, obviously my parents wanted to know from me how was the interview, and I told them that दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण, दुष्कर, बहुत दुर्दैवी तरह का इंटरव्यू था. And because I felt devastated. I had already tasted failure too many times, and because of my journey all these years, it was not easy to face that. After a month, the results for SSC exams come, and I secured a very good rank in SSC exam. I was to be posted as section officer in the CAG of India. And after a month, my Reserve Bank of India results came. I had secured first rank with Hindi medium and had secured highest marks in interview. So friends, when anyone would tell you that you have to look good, you have to appear good, you have to dress well, you have to speak absolutely perfect, many a times that may not be what the interview boards look for in a candidate. It may probably be how authentic as an individual you are, how driven you are as an individual. So my selection in Reserve Bank of India, I joined at RBI Chennai, and I decided that the feelings that I had when I was answering in those questions, which were asked to me in English, and the difficulties that I faced, I will never face in my lifetime. I continuously, constantly, every single nanosecond started working on my spoken English when I was posted in RBI Chennai, to an extent that when I decided to write UPSC exam, when I was expecting my first baby in 2009-10, I ended up filling the form with English medium. And this time when I was writing UPSC examination, I wrote this exam in English medium, despite my complete educational background being in Hindi. I had studied history, public ed, everything in Hindi. I had taken part in debates in Hindi. But I worked on my English. I worked to an extent that I became confident that I can write UPSC in English. And when my child was born, after a month, I wrote my prelims. When he was 1 year old, I appeared in the IAS interview, UPSC interview, and it was my birthday, just like today, in 2011, that my results came, and I cleared UPSC in my first attempt. I got Indian Audit and Account Service, which was my second choice also, because Indian Audit and Account Service works under the CAG of India. And my first job was section officer under the CAG of India. So I wanted that dot, that connect from the past to continue. Then next year I wrote again, and with my little child back home, I was able to take care of my emotions and also to focus on my studies, and could secure a good rank in UPSC in 2012 results. On 3rd of May 2012, the results came. I secured a good rank. I got Maharashtra cadre. And since then, my journey in IAS in Maharashtra has been nothing less than my journey all my life. It has always been a roller coaster ride. I was posted as probationer in Thane, and it was a very big district, the most populous district of the country back then. It had tribal areas of Jawahar, Mukhada, Vikram Gadwada. It had metropolis of Thane, Navi Mumbai. It also had rural areas, so a very good mix. 7 municipal corporations, and so which meant that my probation was extremely hectic. I carried out demolitions even during my probations in Ambernath, which happened later also when I get posted as SDM in Pen. The day I joined as SDM Pen, and I went to make a courtesy call to the district collector of Raigad, he was really worried looking at me, and he thought, how am I going to handle the assembly elections of Pen Assembly constituency? SDM Pen is de facto returning officer for the Pen Assembly constituency, and Pen has been having a history of political disputes, election disputes. So this was so difficult for the collector. He was really concerned that this girl will be able to handle the new girl who has just landed from Labasna. But I took up the challenge and visited all 364 polling stations, changed the locations of the vulnerable and critical polling stations, shifted them to more strategic locations, and issued orders under Section 144(3), which are restraining orders against people belonging to all political parties, because I didn't know anyone back there in Pune. And there were 78 people who were restrained by my order, and in rest of the district, only 8 people. So this ultimately resulted in an election which was the most peaceful election that has ever happened till that day in Pune Assembly constituency. And I could safely prove that PEN, pen, actually is only pen and not PAIN, pain, which my seniors wanted to project to me. And pen is mightier than the sword, which was proven by these orders, which I had to sign by changing the locations of these polling stations and also by restraining the movements of people who could have caused nuisance in the elections. I carried out a lot of demolitions with thanks to the support that I got from my team and my seniors for the National Highway 66. Then I moved on as CEO Jila Parishad Palghar, the first female CEO of the district. I was first SDM of Pune, also female SDM. Then Palghar, I got to get a lot of opportunities to work for malnutrition, education, healthcare. Most importantly, for the Swachh Bharat Mission, because that was the most important event, the most important campaign that was being launched by governments in the states and also in the center. So the focus was to make the district open defecation free. My district was far off from the target. But I was given the challenge by the then Secretary of Water and Sanitation, Rajesh Kumar sir, in a conference. He asked me whether I would be able to make the district open defecation free, and can Palghar be the first tribal district of the entire Western India. We achieved this in a year's time. More than 1 lakh toilets were built in just 1 year's time. From there, I move on to BMC, the Brihanmumbai Mahanagarpalika, as Joint Commissioner. Many experiences, just like the life is, just like it shows us in the ECG, spikes of ups and real dips of down. In BMC also, I have had wonderful, beautiful experiences. Then I moved on as Collector Raigad, this district, during a time when COVID's first wave, second wave, migrants crisis. The other districts were handling just COVID, but unfortunately for the districts on the eastern coast, Amphan came, and for me, Nisarga cyclone came. This was the first time that a cyclone made a landfall in a district in Maharashtra. So with COVID, you're handling a cyclone, you are evacuating people. You're not sure evacuation of people in these buses and then taking them to camps is right approach or not. But you take a call, you ultimately take that jump, and you decide that evacuation is more important and you can get these people tested afterwards. So we evacuate the people in very large numbers, because 64 villages of mine were along the coastline, 108 villages with creek if I include. All of them strategically need to be evacuated with a warning of just 72 hours. And this evacuation exercise gets completed, and we do the relief and rehab operations. That too when COVID panic is at its peak, because this was the 3rd of June when the cyclone made a landfall. After that, second crisis. And when the second crisis was there, by that time, Raigad has become an oxygen powerhouse for the state of Maharashtra, with 650 metric ton oxygen that we were manufacturing. From there, when this time Taukte warning came, this wasn't just an easy evacuation that I had to do, because this time it was not just my own people, but also the people in these 15, 16 districts of Maharashtra, which were dependent on getting oxygen from my district. So we had to not only plan for my own district, but also plan for the other districts, have to ensure that minimum 72 hours of oxygen is supplied to them, the tankers reach there. We do all this, we are barely over with this, bird flu happened, we're barely over with this, a building collapsed, we're barely over with this, a landslide happened, massive floods came. Handling crisis after crisis in Raigad, And this was all possible because of the resilience that people have in our country, and especially the rural communities, that they are able to go through such tremendous crisis and stand up again. And the learnings that I learned while working there, I am sure that now no crisis, no disaster, no difficulty can break me down completely. And I saw in Mahad, people have to throw almost every belonging that they had in their house out on the road because everything was devastated, was completely ruined by the floods. And doing that, and once again standing up and making their own houses, and none of the citizens were complaining. They would even ask us when we would go there, advising people to drink clean water and giving them clean water and clean food packets. People would ask me if I have eaten anything or not. And such beauty you witness in such moments of difficulties. You learn that life as it is, these difficulties come and go. And my district was able to stand up from these crises of COVID and cyclone and floods. And same way, every individual anywhere on earth can stand up again from the most difficult moments of life. I later became collector of Mumbai Suburban District. Now this is a very big district. I am the first female collector of that district also. It is Mumbai ultimately, a big district, lots of land since British times, allotted through land leases to people, and complex issues. So I don't know why before me no woman was ever offered this post, but when I was offered, I realized that there are the real complex issues there. And some people, my well-wishers, advised me not to take many decisions there. But this was not possible for me. We were celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav when I was also holding the charge as collector. So more than anything else, I also got the 75 feet jhanda installed, and lots of beautification drives we took as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. But more important than that for me was to ensure zero pendency. And the end result was that the person who was advised not to take too many decisions because it was Mumbai ended up taking decisions in every pending case that was there in Mumbai Suburban. So from there, I moved on as Joint Commissioner GST, and then now I'm working as Commissioner Skill Development. The journey has been exciting. The journey has been very, very interesting all these years. All my relatives who used to say, friends, neighbors, well-wishers who used to say, इनको पढ़ा के कलेक्टर एसपी बनाओगे क्या? All of them proved to be prophetic. My younger sister became the first female SP of Kutch district, India's largest geographical district. I ended up becoming collector of these very big, very important districts of Maharashtra, Raigad and Mumbai Suburban. And all those people who were saying, Ladki bhag jayegi, I only want to tell them that I'm still running. I paint, I write, and I am 40 today. I really don't know what lies ahead, like I never knew. But I know for sure that, like Iqbal has said, सितारों के आगे जहां और भी है, अभी जिंदगी के इम्तिहान और भी है, तो शाही है परवाज है काम तेरा, तेरे आगे आसमां और भी है, तेरे आगे आसमां और भी. थैंक यू.
हेलो एस्पिरेंट्स, हम में से बहुतों का सपना है आईएएस ऑफिसर बनना, लेकिन ये जर्नी बहुत मुश्किल है. हम प्रिपरेशन कहाँ से स्टार्ट करें, कौन सा स्टडी मटेरियल यूज करें, कोचिंग लें कि नहीं, हमारे मन में बहुत क्वेश्चंस हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास शायद गाइडेंस पाने का जरिया नहीं है. और इसलिए बहुत एस्पिरेंट्स ने जोश से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि क्या जोश टॉक्स एस्पिरेंट्स को हेल्प कर सकते हैं उनकी इस जर्नी में. जोश टॉक्स पर बहुत ब्यूरोक्रेट्स और अनेक टीचर्स और कोचिंग्स आती हैं अपनी कहानी सुनाने. जोश टॉक्स ने उन्हें रिक्वेस्ट किया कि क्या ये कोचिंग्स जोश की फैमिली से बात करेंगे और हमारे डाउट सॉल्व करेंगी. डाउट्स जैसे कि प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कैसे करें, कोचिंग लें कि नहीं, कौन सी कोचिंग लें, ऑफलाइन या ऑनलाइन, कौन से स्टडी मटेरियल यूज करें, क्या कोचिंग फीस में कुछ माफी हो सकती है. तो एक कोचिंग और मान गई है. KSGIS अब हमें कांटेक्ट करेंगी और हमारे क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करने में हमारी हेल्प करेंगी. हम KSGIS से अपने सारे डाउट्स पूछ सकते हैं और घर बैठे अपने क्वेश्चंस को आंसर कर सकते हैं. इसके अलावा जोश टॉक्स ने KSGIS से ये भी बात की और रिक्वेस्ट की कि क्या वो जोश की फैमिली के लिए अपनी फीस में कुछ डिस्काउंट कर सकते हैं। आज मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है हम सबके साथ ये शेयर करने की कि वो मान गए हैं। जोश टॉक्स और भी टीचर से रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है कि वो जोश के स्टूडेंट्स को घर बैठे फोन पर गाइडेंस और इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड करें। तो नीचे एक फॉर्म दिया गया है। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमें इस इंस्टीट्यूट से फोन आए तो हम अपने नाम और नंबर शेयर कर सकते हैं। आपको जब फोन आए तो ये मेंशन करना मत भूलना कि आप जोश फैमिली के पार्ट हैं, ताकि आपको फीस पर एक्स्ट्रा डिस्काउंट मिल पाए। बेस्ट ऑफ लक टू ऑल द एस्पिरेंट्स। जोश हमेशा हमारे साथ खड़ा है। जय हिंद।